Hello, my name's Todd Elliott, and I'm a student in American Christian Heritage, History of U.S. 530, and my video presentation is on the Episcopal Church in Virginia. We know from Luke 1, verses 1 through 4, that the historian must be dedicated to a reasoned and investigated reconstruction of primary sources. This video visit is from historic Trinity Church. I'm in the cemetery courtyard of Trinity Episcopal Church in my hometown of Portsmouth, Virginia, which was established in 1762, and its cemetery is the place of interment for several Revolutionary War soldiers, which include the aide to General Lafayette, Bernard Magnan, and is also the resting place for the remains of Commodore James Barron, remembered as the commander of the USS Chesapeake in the notorious Chesapeake Leopard affair in 1807, considered by some historians as a precursor of the War of 1812. There had once been a segregated section of the church with pews painted black for the free and enslaved African Americans in the congregation. And speaking of black congregants here, one slave, Bob Butt, had served as the city's gravedigger during the yellow fever epidemic of 1855. That epidemic saw the city's population reduced from 11,000 to 4,000 by the flight of residents and the deaths of over 1,000 of its citizens. When the crisis subsided, the residents of Portsmouth raised money for his freedom, and he became a sexton of Trinity Church. The crew of the ironclad CSS Virginia, formerly known as the Merrimack, or maybe most popularly known as the Merrimack, were blessed at the altar here before heading off to meet a certain Union ironclad hailed the Monitor. The Church of England was established as the national church when the Virginia Company landed in Jamestown in 1607, with a charter that instructed the colonists to abide by the practices of the English church in all fundamental points. They came and established themselves here. In an article on the 400 years of the Episcopal Church in Virginia, covering 1607 to 2007, it was noted that the Virginia Company of London proved a good steward of the Church of England, bearing the colonists, and the church bared the colonists through difficult and dangerous times, sending no less than 22 ministers to the Old Dominion from the time of its founding to the dissolution of the Virginia Company by James I in 1624. The colony would grow rapidly, and parishes were created throughout to meet the spiritual needs of their respective communities. But facing a need for clergy in the parishes, Governor William Berkeley took it upon himself to ordain deacons to meet the need. The Episcopal Church was the adaptation of the Church of England in North America, and it held a transformative power over Virginia throughout the colonial period. Indeed, over more than 400 years after its arrival, millions of men and women and children, clergy and lay people, have found the church a meaningful way of worship, to worship God, and a place to work out their salvation. The Church of England came about during the English Reformation, and core to its faith is the Holy Bible, and second to this is the Book of Common Prayer. You can hear the helicopters going by. Portsmouth is a maritime city, so there's a lot of activity. It's a Coast Guard city. Early on, the Church of England did not send bishops to America, so the colony's church was run by a commissariat. The second commissary, James Blair, served for 54 years from 1689 to 1743. And in a life filled with accomplishments,